Hey, good morning, guys. This is Stephen Howard, my dog Rio, and Yucca over there sleeping. Lori's in the bedroom. I'm just getting up this morning. It's about 8:30, and trying to get a fire lit. My wood's kind of wet. Today is May 8th. May 8th. So if you think about that, June is less than 30 days away. And woke up this morning to that. So, May 8th, got about 3 inches of snow, and came in pretty good last night. It isn't really sticking too well, but we had a kind of a problem bear last night. We had about a 350-pound black bear, and he tore our garbage bins open and made a pretty good mess for me. I need to go later and look around the property and see if there's any more of it. But this bear would not leave no matter what you did. And we have air horns and bear spray and all that stuff. And he still came back several times. So definitely a problem bear. He had a radio collar on and was just kicking over the trash bins and trying to unlock them, and actually ripped one of them apart. And so I'm pretty tired today. The dogs were freaking out and barking, probably have sore throats. I was yelling and trying to get the bear to leave, and bear just wouldn't go. So if you have a problem like that, having a bear door, having reinforcements on your door, making sure your door's locked, and then being aware of the sound, if the bear was to break into the house, the sound of the broken glass or the point of entry would be the focal point. And, I hope nothing like that ever happens, but this was a nuisance bear, and I'm familiar with black bears from living in Lake Tahoe and rock climbing in Yosemite. Most of them go away from a loud noise, and this bear did not. He didn't care. So, well, since it's snowing today, it means that even though summer's coming and it's springtime, it still can snow, and it can snow consistently. We're in Montana, and we're above 5,000 feet up here. So just enjoy it. Enjoy the frequency. Enjoy the fire. Try to ground yourself, and regardless of what's going on, try and do the best that you can. Got my hair cut yesterday, so I'm a little short, but it was a good haircut, and it will grow out pretty quick. I grow my hair pretty fast. But doing things on your list, I keep a calendar, and I kind of keep a list of things that need to be taken care of, and then I have kind of a wish list, like I hope we can do some trips and have some good times. But if it's snowing and things are that way, you just have to change your wardrobe back to some winter stuff, and just go do things. Maybe go sit in a hot spring or do something that is adjacent or symbiotic with winter weather. And don't get bummed out. There's plenty of summer coming, and it's supposed to be 70 degrees on Saturday or Sunday. So bipolar weather in the springtime is often the case, especially up in the north here. The divinely guided messages that I have been getting lately are that people need to put themselves in other people's shoes. I went to a barber guy in Missoula, and he's been cutting hair for 35 years, so he did a good job, and it doesn't look like it because it's the morning time and I haven't done my hair. But he he had people that they drop in and he's booked for the day, and then they can't make it tomorrow, but they could make it next Tuesday, and they set an appointment and they never show up. And I was the 1%. I had some other appointments. I got some tires put on the car, and I knew that I had a 9:30 appointment, and I was trying to pinpoint how I could get there on time or even a little bit early. And I pulled up, and I could see the guy was cutting another guy's hair, and he mentioned something, and I could tell by the energy exchange that he was in shock that I had shown up. And I think he's used to statistically people flaking, and statistically, 99% of the people wouldn't show up on the Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning to get their hair cut because it wasn't a priority to either them, or they didn't put themselves in the barber's shoes where he's trying to create a day where he can make some money and pay some rent or do something else. And if he's been there 35 years, he's obviously very good with money and organization, and impeccable barber. His tools were all clean. Everything was clean, nice. And so I think the point I'm trying to make is, one, don't be the barber who doubts everybody and says 99% of people aren't going to show up for me, and you're the 1%. The other thing is, be open to making appointments, even if you know that those appointments aren't going to happen or something like that. Go ahead and make the appointment. And then if you have a problem, call and reschedule the appointment or show up. And those are really the choices. Flaking is not an option in life. And you have to show up eventually at everything. And it's hard to keep a list. It's hard to keep track, and it's hard to get everything accomplished. But if you write it down on a calendar, and you have things that you focus on, and you have other things that you hope to create, do, complete, whatever those things are. So, rent needs to be paid, or this needs to be paid, or that needs to be paid. And then you have appointments in there, and I have to pay this money out for the appointment. And then there's other times that things are free. You have 2 weeks or 3 weeks that are free time. And during that free time, you can put in there, kayak trip on Sunday, or you can put in there going on a road trip for the weekend, that weekend, and save up for it. Figure out where you want to go, create a plan, create the mileage, figure out where you're going to go and what you're going to do, possibly, and then be flexible if that changes, but try and go with it. And you'll be amazed at the results. Just in a few months, I've completed major things that I never thought would have got accomplished by now. And I did it just by focusing on it and having it on the calendar as an event or something that needed to happen. And yeah, so what that looks like usually is something like that. Or something like that. And then at the end of the month, do your checks and balances. So check in with yourself and see where you are and see what needs to be accomplished. Write the things down. And if you don't have enough, or you're in a situation where you're trying to figure out how to make ends meet, if you are constantly trying to figure out what you're going to do and what it's going to cost, then you have a balance at the end. And it's either a positive, a negative, or a zero. And depending on what that number is, then you can get your activity up and you can start buying and selling, or selling things that you've collected over the years. So there are things that I have that are considered asset, and it's not much. It's a couple kayaks and a couple paddle boards and a couple wetsuits, and that gear is growing. And I try to get ready this time of year. A lot of people don't understand, but getting prepared this time of year so that when the spring does come and you are ready to go on a river trip, you've already got everything that you require. You don't have to go find this part